All right, let's see if the first show of 2023 starts without a hitch. What's going on, everybody?
What's happening?
What's
Happy New Year.
happening?
Is this still allowed?
Yo. Yep. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. Hope everybody.
Wait, is this our second show? This is our first show of the year.
First show of the year.
Wow.
We missed. Remember, I had a work meeting last week, so I couldn't make it.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and so well, which is, you know, which is fine because we weren't supposed to go on the last week of the year, and
Yeah.
you know, thanks to the flu and everybody getting sick in the house, we didn't go to the didn't go on our cruise. So we were on. So we took our week off just a week late.
Yeah.
So so how you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah? Yeah? Well, as they say, first show of the year, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I can never hear
Come
that.
to my chopper.
Oh no, you see, you how far are you in High on Life, Chris? How far did you get?
I've just beaten the second boss and just kind of run around after that. I gotta go get the boots. I don't know. That's why I was asking you. Like, okay.
Where are the boots? Is that the third boss before the third boss? Myke, I don't remember.
Because I haven't come across them.
Have you had to go to the drugstore?
And I did the drum deal.
Oh, you did the drum thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, after every boss you were killed, go back to the place.
Okay.
Check up on those guys. Because that's a missable achievement and it pisses me off. I hate missable achievements.
I missed that one too. So
I gave him that, but then I was like I was at my final boss. So after that, that's the end. So.
But I kept going back and looking on the TV, and the guy never showed up. Like, well, maybe he sucks. So.
Yes. So after beating the second boss, and there with all the what do you call them, Care Bears wannabes.
Oh yeah.
I just kept exploring everywhere there to try to get, once I got that second gun, Gus, and I was like, ooh, I can, go to different places, and
See,
I thought that was kind of cool. So, I guess as you get different guns, you get different, be able to unlock certain abilities.
Yes.
So I thought that was kind of cool how they did that. So.
Well, and Gus is my favorite gun from a.
I can see why. Yeah.
From a dialogue standpoint.
Yeah.
He's funny as crap.
I hated that second gun. That girl.
Oh, what's her name? Now, but Peter, did you use her to do the thing in the office? Did you get that, Chivo? God, I hate. I hate dancing around spoilers.
Yeah. No, I got something in the office, so that must have been it.
Yeah, but I'm loving it. I just, there's just so many parts you just crack up.
It is a solid game.
Hilarious. And after playing this, I might end up go watching Rick and Morty. And my daughter, she's been telling me, past few years, you need to watch it. They got stuff in there that you laugh at, stuff that you'll find funny. I said, I guess. So I give it a shot.
I might. I might watch a little of it. It always comes on, and I never turn to it when it's on.
Be right back.
Okay. Just not sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Anybody else in chat playing High Life? I know Back said he's an hour in.
It's like Darth Praxis says it's sick as hell.
Yeah.
No. By the way,
and Back, I guess
welcome.
the Destiny DLC dropped already, right? with the I think. You know what I'm talking about? The latest one? I can't remember the name of the DLC, but I thought I saw back starting it.
I'm trying not to spoil it. So
get the boots back.
Yeah, yes. I'm spoiling that one because it's easy to miss those. So I'm gonna give you that spoiler. Do not. I think it's in the third act. I think it's before the third boss. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but.
But where is it at exactly?
Are we talking about the boots?
Yeah, there's a mission where you have to
kind of go to an
to
Apple
people.
store kind of thing. So
Well, it's
once
a
you're
drugstore.
getting out of down there, huh?
It's not apples. It's.
No, I know, but so after you get out of there,
Yeah.
kind of hug it towards the left. So come out straight and hug it more to the left, and then you'll find them. You'll see somebody on the ground.
Okay.
If you get out and immediately turn right, because I think that's where your mission marker is set, then you'll miss it.
Well, okay, so Darth. So Praxis, he says, "Don't give it away, but tell him where to get them." So, here's the problem. The reason is they were so easy to miss that I missed them. I had to.
I stumbled upon them. I wasn't even like, I knew that I had to look for them, but I was like, I wasn't looking at them right at that moment. I was like, oh, it's it. And I walked down there, and then all of a sudden I have a prompt like, oh, this is where they are.
It was completely unfair how they did that. So
Yeah.
I'm doing a public service. Get the boots. That's all I can tell you.
And we're going back to achievements. I hate missable achievements. Even even after finishing the story, if you can't go back to get them or do some extra stuff, I hate that. It's like it's not appreciating my time.
Well,
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to end up having to start doing is looking at all the achievements before I start a game.
Yeah, but then you still miss stuff. I did that, and then I still missed the
Like the ones that
thing with the drum. Let's say it that way. I missed that.
Well, and see,
I wouldn't have known that unless you told me.
Yeah.
but I'm also going to say that part of the issue there is that while it's not necessarily the achievements themselves, but there's not a lot of explanation to that.
And that's hard if you miss the boots. You have to dance around different areas.
Yes. And I beat the game without the boots. And I just don't want people to go through that again. Like I had.
It just makes it harder.
It does. And if you're not ready for it, you could flounder about for a while. So
You might give up too. It's like after don't know where to go next. I don't know how to get down there.
yeah.
But it's not only you have to know what the achievement is, but you also have to read up about it, if it's missable, or what the prerequisites are and other stuff. It's
Exactly. And that's what I don't like about those. Just give me a short thing on the achievement. And I'll give you another example. And I don't think I'm spoiling this because it's a 1.5 old game. Death's Door, right? In order to get all the achievements in Death's Door, you must beat the game by only using a specific melee weapon. And you can't use any other weapons through the game, period. Just a specific weapon, and you have to do it the entire game. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
and that's a weapon
till
that you
after I
get
beat it.
early in the game too.
Yes, it is. So you
And
know
it's
which
like-
one I'm. Yeah.
I know, and I'm like, why do I want to use this?
Right. It's an underpowered weapon,
Yeah.
but you have to. And if you switch weapons anytime during the game, you don't get the achievement. So
I read about another game. It's like I forgot what game it was. I think it was about collecting certain items along the way. But if you would like go back to a previous save point, you lose all your collectibles.
see,
Now I forgot what game it was. It's like, what the, is that a feature or a bug? It's a nasty feature.
I'm not down with that.
Mm-mm.
Oh. All right, I gotta say hi to all these people that are jumping into chat.
There they are.
Yeah, I'm trying to
they
say
are.
welcome to everybody. I don't know if
Yeah.
I get it.
You,
I don't know if I got it.
I'm on
always
top
do
of
it.
it.
You always do such a great
Try to.
job with that, Peter. And there's nobody.
Yeah, trying.
So
It's,
I remember
Me
that
too.
night. I remember that night we had Phil Adam and John Alvarado on and had like 300 people in chat. You said hi to every single freaking one of them. That's impressive. So, but
Darth Praxis, achievement hunters. Man, I've been hunting achievements in the multiplayer in Call of Duty since like forever. There's only one map.
one map.
Now we really play only one map. That's shipment. It's like totally, chaos and mayhem and stuff. It's hilarious.
Well, we got Brother Doggy in the house. Brother Charlie's here. Brother Toto Dope is here. Brother Timmy is here. I know I saw. So Darth Praxis, a new stopped in. Thank you. It's great to have you out here tonight with us, Darth. Cousin Born is here. 68 Camaro is here. Brother Back is here. Brother Jeff from GoGameGo is here. Who's gonna have one of my favorite Atari VCS content creators on Wednesday. Ballistic Boy is what he is on Twitter. So, GoGameGo tomorrow night's going to be...
Nice.
I had Firaxis on the brain because one of my friends that works at Firaxis just retired. Sorry, Praxis. It sounds like Firaxis. Plus, Firaxis Games is in my neck of the woods. It's like 20 minutes from my house. Charlie, the events we do not speak of. So Cousin Born is here. Darth Praxis is here. People know me by now. I cannot speak good English. Brother Bryant is here. Brian, I haven't seen you in, 6-7 years? Lady Sister Ventress is here. Nephew Mega Myke is here. Which means I'm hoping that Brother Relic will be along very soon. Canadian Gamers here. Smack time. Yes. So, funny story. So, CG did a video about our channel. And it was a very gracious video. And I thank you again for that, Canadian Gamer. In that video, he admitted that... he said, when I saw that Mike Mullis guy, I didn't like him at first because I saw him on a I saw him on a show, and I think it was Retro Roots. It was either Retro Roots or Miko Forever or something like that. It might have been Retro Roots. And at the time, I was snacking on pistachios because it was my go-to protein snack while I was trying to lose weight and he said. Something just annoyed me about that, and so I didn't like him. And so that always reminds me of it. And I'm glad, at least you admitted to reason, Canadian Gamer. So other people hate me just because. So at least you had a reason.
Join the club, Canadian Gamer.
But no, it's good to see you tonight, CG, and I always did appreciate that. Always appreciated that video. That was really nice. Here's the other thing too. and this goes both ways. When you start to get to know people, rather than what you hear on social media or see in other people's videos, you know, you start to actually get to know people. You find out they're not the people who you're supposed to believe they are. So
they're more jerks in real life.
That's right. That's my excuse. So
yeah.
So anyway, you know, Canadian Gamer and us, he shares deep love of Xbox. So,
yeah.
It is popcorn tonight, though,
we
CG.
like Xbox. It's okay.
Yeah. So, Brother Geeks with Cash is here. Brother Nick. SNFL Driz. Driz is here, Brother Driz. Yes, we have Discord. I'll tell you what. I'll throw the Discord. Here's the thing about our Discord. We try, and nobody uses it. So if you guys want to, you guys don't want to come into our Discord and make it live. I know that is part of the problem. Is that our Discord is one of, you know, hundreds of thousands. But I tell you what, if you guys want to come in and hang out in our Discord and help us make it active. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I would rather be in Discord than on Twitter. So, come on in. You guys are all welcome. You mean once you get to know them, they aren't the D-bags you thought they were? Exactly. Exactly. Except for some. I will say that goes both ways. And there are some people who you think are good people, and they turn out not to be. So, I've seen that side
Turn around,
of it too.
look at your back. Is this your knife?
Exactly. Uh-huh. It's funny because you've seen it. So anyway, but you know, thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. We're hoping to you know, Black Card is here. I think I saw. Yes. Black Card, what's going on? I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. You know, you guys are why we're here, you know? The chat is the one thing we love about the chat, and Peter, Chris, you guys can attest to this, is you guys are part of you're part of the show. That's why we have you guys up on the screen. You guys are all part of what we do and why we love being here. So what's up, Rico Solo? Good evening. So,
our brother Rico.
Yeah.
Aloha.
Poor guy. He's over there suffering, hanging out there in Maui.
Oh, sorry. All right. I will mute because I am kind of crunch. I'm sorry. Praxis is giving me a hella hard time tonight. Good Lord. It's because I said Fraxis at first.
Yeah.
Oh. So,
You opened up that can of whoop ass.
I know.
Or that can of popcorn.
Can of popcorn. So, what you guys been up to, Peter? What how's things? How's your New Year been, and what you been playing?
New Year's been good. Been playing a ton of Call of Duty, except tonight.
Except tonight.
I'm having withdrawals. So if you see me twiddling and twitching and stuff, you know why.
It's not the coffee.
It's not the coffee. It's not the H2O either.
Ah.
But yeah, that's pretty much my go-to game now.
Well, you've gotten your money's worth out of it, that's for sure.
I did.
Oh. And Mr. Chris, how's your New Year been?
Well, pretty good. Good. Definitely got some time off, a little over a week off, and but was busy. So obviously, you see my background is different.
Yes.
I switched rooms. This used to be my 9-year-old daughter's room, but she wanted the other room because the other room is a little bit warmer. Yeah, for some reason, you know how somehow it's weird, but AC it's colder here than it is over there. So she'd rather be there, and plus she wanted her room repainted. So you know how that other room, every wall was a different color.
Yes.
You know, so over the years y'all saw like green and orange and blue and
It's a 4-season room.
yellow. Yeah. So, but that was my oldest. She won. That's when she had that room. So we painted it like a. She picked it like a kind of like a beige. No, not a like a yellow, but a lighter yellow, like a. Yeah. I'm trying to think of
What?
Yeah. Yeah, but no, but not like Mike's old golden yellow. But no, like a pastel yellow, which she picked. So
Nice.
we did that. Took about a couple of the walls, you know, because they were darker. You know, took like 3 coats on three of the walls. So yeah, I was busy with that. Busy putting trampoline together and putting a full size bed together. And
did you say trampoline?
Yeah. So my daughter's always wanted a trampoline. So remember I told y'all that the Amazon guy ruined that surprise?
Yes, you
For
did.
Christmas, yeah. So
Was
that's
that the
one that I put
surprise?
together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, but at least he said ho ho ho. But
yeah.
yeah.
So no, it's been good. I didn't. I was playing more Vampire Survivor during my time off, and then I finally started jumping on towards the end. Before I went back to work, got on High on Life, and so I've been off and on that. And of course, football. You know, this is time of year where end of football. You know, I was in 2 championships for my fantasy football, and so just paying attention to a lot of that. Watched my Cowboys suck this last week, and TCU, our Texas team here, not my favorite Texas team, but I was rooting for them. They
Nice.
didn't look good. They got romped. So
Well, you know,
Georgia was like on another level. It looked like TCU looked like they were playing an NFL team.
it's always bound to happen, man.
Yeah,
You know, it's
so-
always bound to happen.
So yeah, other than that, it's a lot of football and need to just back and forth, get on High on Life before these games start coming out here soon.
Yeah.
Hogwarts is probably my next game, so
Yeah, that's
Mine too.
that's
I'll be
February
ready day
2nd.
one.
So yeah,
You know what? The more I see of it,
The more I see it,
the
Mhm.
more I'm
want it.
interested.
yeah. And as you get closer, we can. But what's cool is that I think it's 100 years before or 200 years
Yeah, it's before the
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Yeah.
So I think that's cool. So you have some of the lore there, but different
yeah,
Right.
characters, and so,
I think that's smart.
yeah,
So you
Praxis
can
is
never live
asking
up to
about-
that hype.
yeah.
Praxis is
The
asking
Atomic
about,
Heart looks cool too.
it does.
And that's going to be in Game Pass too. So that is cool to check that out. BioShock like
And
Game Pass is
I
just
love
gonna keep-
BioShock.
growing here.
Game Pass, man, is
It's-
going to be insane this year.
Yeah, and
As long as this
yeah,
stuff
of
keeps
course.
coming.
oh, it is,
So you
It is.
think?
which we'll be talking about here soon.
Yes, we will.
We need to get the Honorary Dragons TV sample going. Game Pass.
Yes. I
He's
don't
got
know
a
if I
patent
can.
on
I
that.
don't know if I'm
That
allowed
brain.
to do that without having to pay him a royalty.
Yeah.
I believe that's. I believe that's
Maybe
it.
if you
Oh,
do that,
Monster
you're
Hunter
required to
Rise
get
hits
that
this week.
tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Stalker 2, and then yeah, I mean what we talked about it before, and then we got Jedi Survivor. I think that's early March.
Early March. We tried
Yeah,
to go through
so-
the release list until I crashed the site.
Well,
Yes.
we got through pretty much the first 6 months, so,
We did.
Thing is that about many unknowns.
which
we did.
matters more right now. Yeah,
Yes.
not a lot of
Like-
unknowns.
Forza Motorsport, win. Oh no.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, like Darth, Monster Hunter Rise, and then 2 of the Persona games. I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
into
not,
those, but I know there are people who
Yeah, some
looking
people
forward to
are.
that.
It's like.
So I'm looking to see. Well, so here, Atomic Heart just says available 2023.
Yeah, and
We're 10
I haven't
days in,
seen
so
an
they have
official date.
355 free left.
Yeah.
whatever.
But hold on, I take it back. Actually, the first game in February is going to be Deliver Us Mars.
Oh,
That's,
really?
that's
I should
February
pre-order
2nd.
it.
Which I'm going to buy. That one's a day one purchase.
Should be able to beat that and then jump on Hogwarts after that.
Yeah.
So Atomic Heart
That would be my next. Yeah.
Atomic Heart is February 21st.
Okay.
Ooh, so since Xbox is putting dates on their, if I click on Redfall,
What does it say?
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm afraid I can't do that. It just says coming 2023. Damn it.
Dang.
I tried.
It looks like we're having an Xbox show coming up.
Well,
Some Xbox dev.
we hope. I haven't heard anything.
That's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
But that's the hint from Jez Gordon from Windows Central.
Mm-hmm.
John Greenberg was hinting at some stuff.
Aaron Greenberg did hint.
He hinted.
He started it at the end of last year. And then he did another tweet here soon, recently that said, looking forward to the next couple of days.
I think he was
And
just
so
taking a vacation.
there have been hints, and I was hoping that today would have been the day where, where we saw, like Jez and other people who, have big followings, whatever, started hinting at and repeating what Jez had said. So obviously there's something there. Once these guys that we're used to seeing, once they start revealing, so like I believe Jez and also Grub had hinted at don't expect anything Xbox at Game Awards, right? And so we're like,
Right.
And then
Right,
sure
so-
enough,
So, and the other thing too that I think is worth noting, and this is Jez's. Well, hell, we're past welcome gamers. Now we're talking about this stuff. Hey, I
don't worry,
follow
Doc.
big.
We take you seriously. Don't worry.
So Xbox will host a new developer direct show for Redfall, Forza, and more. So and I'm trying to find. I'll have to try to find it. They're still not saying anything here about Starfield.
Yeah, you're not the only person that's brought that up. That's been brought up quite a bit.
I know.
Twitter
I
and other
know.
podcasts.
I'm trying not to, but the show will be hosted by both Xbox and Bethesda with deep dives into Redfall, Minecraft Legends, Forza Motorsport, and content from ZeniMax Online Studios.
But I mean, I think there was something in one of the Twitter deal that Jess said he didn't. It doesn't mean that Starfield won't be there. That he's not for sure. So whatever sources he's getting it, he's not. Who knows exactly what all he's got. But what if Starfield is there, in what form is it there? Because there's also a hint that we talked about it too. Like this is Todd Howard's baby. This is something he's been wanting to do for a long time, right? So he's gonna. It makes sense for him to do a big reveal or whatever, showing off Starfield right before the launch.
Yeah,
So I mean,
you do just a big show.
Yeah, and So I mean, they could still mention Starfield
I think
here
that's all they need
and
to
maybe
do.
release the date, but
That's all they
say
need to
you
do.
know, and that's great. And then say stay tuned for Todd Howard and Bethesda, to reveal more for Starfield.
Exactly. That's all, honestly, I truly believe that's all they need to do is just
and,
that's all people want at this point is just the.
But what happens if it would say, October 14th or whatever the original date?
I don't know, because
that would be a problem.
You go to their Starfield support page, it says first half of 23.
Yeah, it's
what if
gotta
it
be.
comes to game preview first?
Well, I haven't seen no hint of that. I mean,
was gonna
even
preview would be crazy.
Even Phil during the June show at the end, he mentioned Starfield, Redfall, and Forza first half of 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
He stated that.
He did.
And so far, and then when the support page came up, they had to do theirs, said first half of 23. So they're still sticking with that.
Yeah, this is for Cousin Born, who's asked if there was any gameplay footage yet of Starfield. So this was the when was this? This was the Xbox Bethesda Games Showcase. So this was last quote E3.
Yeah, they showed that. And I liked what I saw.
Relic, why are you picking on me, Relic? I mean, I don't think they need to deep dive into it. If it's so, let's say Redfall is March or April, right? And then let's say Starfield is May. They don't need to show. They could save Starfield for its own show, kind of like what Sony does with their
the state of play. Yeah, and they'll show about 10, 15 minutes of gameplay reveal, right?
Yeah.
And so how long do they, like a week before the game comes out? I'm trying to remember, but they've been pretty good about that, and they're big AAA. And the thing is, I think that like this, let's say this show, it seemed like they're making it sound like it's going to be kind of like a quick, just dive into these games that are coming out these next 6 months, but then these 23, and like this is what's going to be coming out, and maybe some trailers with reveal dates or whatever, and then like you said, Starfield, they can still reveal that, but then stay tuned, but
yeah, finish the show.
It's going to be the big thing to me is that when Starfield, when Redfall, and Forza, how are they going to fit that in so that they're not crowded? They got to give them that at least a month space between each other, at least. Forza, not so much. Forza can come close between either one.
No.
Because it's a different game.
Still.
I know. It's hard, though, because you don't got a lot of time.
Yeah. Especially if you're already playing a game. It's like, where do I fit this in?
And there's a lot of other games, too, that are,
My Call of Duty takes up all my time. It's like I don't have
months.
Oh, yeah. Cousin Born says he thinks Starfield will be delayed. I think they'll get crucified for delaying it.
Yeah, I don't see that. They've been sticking with first half of 23 so far, and they relayed that message again on their support page.
They did. And remember, Cousin Born, they originally were going to launch this. They had a release date a year ago.
Yeah. Well, November 11th.
And I remember when they announced that release date.
Yeah. Oh. When they first. Yeah.
Yep.
But like Redfall, they just said summer 22, right? They just said summer, something like that, right?
Summer, and then I thought, and I've been trying to find this from time and again. I thought that they went summer, and then they went October, and then they just went 2023. I could be wrong, but I thought at one point they had an October date for it. So, well, this isn't barely any gameplay though, Cousin Born. I mean, this is the gameplay for Starfield.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was like very.
It's early, but it's 11 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah,
True.
So I mean, it's not.
It doesn't have a major jetpack where you can just like, you know.
I know.
Take the
Hey, what's
scene
up,
trip
Scepter?
in 30 seconds.
You know what's weird is that Bethesda, Todd Howard, they've been very good. You have not heard a lot. They revealed, you know, that like they showed this, and I thought there was something else, right? If you go to their page, there are other things there. They have some interviews there, and do talk about it. And you know, there's a lot of you know, where they share this and that about the game. They've shown quite a bit about the game, you know, kind of revealed, talk about the story and this and that, the factions. So I think we all have pretty good understanding what this game is. And same thing with Redfall. They've been showing more recently. They just showed a little bit more.
Yeah.
And gave a little bit more info on what it is, you know, more. So like they kind of compared it to being like a Far Cry game. So I think these games are real close to coming out. I think they're ready. It's just that we don't know which one comes first and then which date. That's
right.
And hopefully that's what this show that Aaron Greenberg and others have already kind of revealed. And you know, we'll be getting that this last 6 months of roadmap that they revealed in the June show last year. So yeah, very excited for this Starfield.
Yeah, I am too. I feel like this is going to be a really cool kind of space epic.
It's going to be either really cool or it's going to be such a dud that you want to forget it as quickly as possible.
Oh, I tell you what.
There's
Boy,
no
with
in betweeny.
Yeah, well,
Nah,
I mean, there
we're
could
no
be
experts here at Born Distracted. We don't know shit either. It's just that we're
guessing.
hoping. That's the main thing.
Yeah, we're speculating.
I know I've said here, I've been just, you know, having fun telling people, oh, it's coming March, you know, because there has been 3/23/23 has been thrown around, right? And so it's like, okay, well, why would they release it around that? And so if you go online, look at events throughout history. So 1965, the first launch of 2 astronauts on the Gemini 1, I think, launched in 1965. So I don't know if that means anything to Todd Howard or Bethesda, if they were to say to release it on that date, or if they release it, you know, early April, and April is considered, you know, space month, whatever. Who knows? You know, I just throwing out guesses there, but.
Can't we do a little spoof call to the Oreo headquarters and say like, "Hey, when are those packages of Starfield on the shelf?" They're like, "Oh yeah, that will be."
Right. Wait, which one comes out first,
Hey.
Starfield packages or Redfall?
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to put on their best Phil Spencer voice? Listen, guys. Which Oreos you guys got ready so we can release the game at the same time?
What flavors did we order?
Hey, Sister Trinity's in the house.
Hey, Trinity.
Oh, hey, sorry.
Hope
she
all
got,
is well.
yeah, a little something going on, and you know, we're always here for you, sis. You know that. You know that. We got you. Oh. It's waiting on. Okay. So, you know, and what's funny is we've seen a lot of Forza. Let's talk about let's talk about Redfall for a minute because
Yeah.
that one we have new information.
Yeah.
No, by the way, I'd like to point out while I'm getting the video up on that. This is the fastest. This might be I don't know what happened to us, but This is the fastest we've ever gotten into our topic.
Peter threw us and he said, "All right, let's go."
Yeah, he said, "Screw it! I've got Call of Duty to play here. What the hell's wrong with you guys?"
Yeah, I'm biting my nails here.
Right. Oh. All right. So, new information on Redfall that was dropped, which I'm actually pretty. I'm not gonna say stoked about this news, but I'm impressed with what's going on with this game, and maybe that delay is gonna be really good. So, hey, look, we talk about delays and delays themselves don't bother any of us, right? It's not the delays, and what bothers me doesn't necessarily bother you guys. For me, it's always lack of information, right? And you're just mad that I called you out on wrestling not being a sport, Yobi. Delays are delays, and it's hard not knowing. And that's a hard thing in many ways. Just between us, I don't have a whole lot of new information about the console I'm testing. And while I'm enjoying that, and while the kids are enjoying that, and I know there are a lot of people that would love some freaking information, and that would love to hear something positive. And it's the lack of hearing something that typically is what gets people upset. It's what I always talk about. It's that, it's not that we don't know we know Hellblade 2 is coming out. We don't know when, but we don't get much information about it anymore. And so I think that's where people start to lose their interest in stuff. So it was really cool today. So bringing that back to almost said Far Cry for this reason, to bring that back to Redfall. Arcane Studios told Games Radar a bunch of new stuff about Redfall that actually perked my ears up. For starters, they're trying not to make this. What did we say this looked like at the very beginning, right? Left 4 Dead, right? That this was basically Arcane's version of Left 4 Dead. I know I said that.
Yeah, but it was brought up, yeah.
What they want this game to be is more like Far Cry, which should appeal to you guys, because I know you guys are big Far Cry fans.
Yeah. But what's cool is that this is you get to play single player, but you could do up to 4-player co-op.
Yes.
Curious how seamless it is. Can you drop in, drop out?
I don't know.
Yeah. And isn't this...
The thing is, we've been playing some co-op games, but we leave it like it's one night and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to be able to...
Well, because
if the co-op is like Division or Wildlands, like you can pretty much join up with your crew, right, pretty easily, no matter what they're doing. So hopefully it's like that.
But if it has a story like Far Cry,
and
then it's like you can join each other's world in Far Cry, but it's only one person is progressing the story.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah, or yeah.
Well, and here's what they said about that too. So Harvey Smith, who's one of the two guys that they interviewed, said, when we started on Redfall, we wanted to tackle a familiar location for once. We wanted to take a familiar setting and go deep on it. Redfall Island should be a place where after hours of exploration, you feel like you know it the way you know Talos or Dunwall from their previous games. When I say we wanted to stretch, that's what I mean. What if we took all of our experience and all of our creative values and put it into an open world? So this is going to be an open world. Yeah. The question is, so 2 questions. Peter's question number 1, but what does that do? What's that going to do as well for progression? Because we all know what some of the issue is with some of the games out there that are co-op. The progression is based on the host or based on the co-op session. And once you get back into a single player session, you've got to go back and play. Right?
Sometimes, I mean, like Halo Infinite, everybody, it gave you a choice, right? You can either go in, start over, or you just go in with what you've already done, and like it didn't matter where you were progressing your single player. You're playing the host, whoever was hosting that one. I think Division and Wildlands, everybody was at their own level of progression, and in the co-op, everybody progressed on their own, no matter what level you were. So it didn't really affect whether you went back to single player or not. I think because I could have sworn that there were things that I did that I didn't do in single player when we played co-op, like on Wildlands or Division, and it was unlocked for me in single player. I think. To some extent, but
so let's see.
So it'll be interesting how they do that.
All right,
because this is Arcane's first game with co-op like this. I mean, they did Deathloop, which I think has some co-op element to it, or some multiplayer or something, but not to this level. So I think that's one reason.
Didn't they have like it support?
Yeah,
I was getting there.
For the multiplayer?
Yeah, I was getting there. So basically what they were saying was, this is and I'm quoting here, you're in a big ass open world. We have a home base where you can talk to NPCs and get side quests. You can go to the mission table and pick up story-driven missions, or you can not give a shit about any of that and just head outside, pick a direction, and start hauling ass and run into the living world stuff we have going on. So there's that piece of it. Redfall is unfathomably larger than Prey's Talos 1.
Yeah.
Let's see. So yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I was gonna say, I played Prey last year, not too long ago, and it was big. It was a lot of areas to explore. So obviously, when you went through each area, you did it. It's like it loaded when you get into the other area, but each area had a pretty good amount of space. So that's pretty. I'm looking forward to this being that big.
All right, so cooperation is optional. You can slay alone or squad up, with Redfall seamlessly blending single-player and multiplayer options. Not all that dissimilar to the Borderlands games. All right, so once you start the campaign, as Darth Praxis was saying, once you start the campaign, your character selection is locked in for the duration of the game. If you choose to play solo, you'll do so without the other 3 heroes around you. In co-op, there's no restriction on multiples of the same vampire hunter joining one party. So you could have 4 of the same character.
You can choose any of your characters.
Yeah, 4 snipers.
Right. However, there are benefits to having a well-rounded group outside of the variety it will bring to combat. We have a very dynamic dialogue system where, depending on what heroes you put together in combination, they will talk to each other and get to know one another. And we have a mechanical system where the longer the heroes play together, the more intimate their dialogue lines become. And eventually, they will get to a game mechanic buff called the trust buff, whatever the hell that is. So it is a drop-in, drop-out experience.
Nice.
So whoever's got whoever's playing the game and playing the story, you can drop in and you can help them with the story. But then you got to go back and just like in every other game, they haven't figured this one out yet. Where once you leave, you go back to your own story and wherever you left off. So so where was what I was? There was looking for where it was. id Software is helping them to work on the game, which I think is cool. They got
someone
id
mentioned
Software to help with the gunplay.
Podcast I watched, they mentioned that they helped them with the gun mechanics to make improvements, which is good. And they were like, well, they needed that if you played their other games. But I'm like, well, like Prey and Dishonor, which I haven't played Dishonor yet, but after playing Prey, and I understand people who played, so it's not about it's not a shooter like Prey. I remember when Prey came out, people were criticizing it because the shooting mechanics or blah blah, and it's like, no, you're playing it wrong. That's not, it's a combination of the other abilities that you have. Like, so you can see in here where, they got their weapon, but then they also have ability in the other hand, I think, whatever, fire, whatever, as a combo to complement, your weapon. So that's just arcane, so if you go in there trying to play it like a shooter, then you may not like it. But if id is helping them with this, shooting mechanics will probably
you may like it.
Hey, you'll
Paul.
be like, hey, what's up, Paul?
Brother Paul's in the house. No, you may like it especially knowing that they're working on it. I mean that gives me some I think that's fantastic, and that speaks to the power of ZeniMax as a studio umbrella, that Arcane can go to id to get help, right? I like that. And look, Arcane doesn't fail. I don't even want to say very often, because Deathloop got award nomination. So Dishonored, Prey, Deathloop, we're not talking about a AA studio trying to make a AAA game. I tend to trust what Arcane is doing. And I'm absolutely going to give this game a run. And of course, it's in Game Pass. I mean, how do you not?
Exactly.
So I think they have two studios, one here in Texas, Austin, and I don't know if the other one's in Canada or France. But they do got some pedigree. I mean, I still need to go is it Lyon, France? And then Austin, Texas. But no, games are Dishonored, Prey, and like I said, Deathloop, and then now this. I think it's gonna be good. And they got that Xbox money. And that could be another reason why they delayed it. And then they decided, hey, let's, maybe someone suggested, hey, let's get you some. They were kind of like, well, we want to make improvements on the gun mechanics of shooting, and that's maybe why it came in, and it could be one reason why they delayed it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it seemed like they were ready to bring it out. I mean, what they done with Dishonored and Prey, I mean, it would have been fine, but a little bit more polished. Nothing wrong with that. And like you said, a lot of games have been getting delayed. I think, one delay, I think, is fine. To me, it's no big deal. So they've been open pretty much more recently. So who knows? This might be the first game of 23, the first big AAA game for Xbox. So I would not be surprised. I'd be fine either way.
Where are you on this game, Chris or Peter?
That looks cool. I just wanted to see how it plays. I'm not like super hyped about it, but I definitely with it coming to Game Pass, it's definitely the barrier of entry is super low.
Yes, it is.
But it is up our alley as far as the co-op, right?
So at least with the co-op, we'll go through it, and that will be probably fun.
We played Back to Blood and other games like this where we, Halo and stuff like that, co-op. I think we'll have fun with this.
So we'll definitely have a night of fun for sure.
Yeah. A night.
Well, I like the idea that we can try different characters just to see.
Yeah.
How they play out, hopefully the story's good. I mean, Arcane stories have been pretty good. Dishonored and Prey, so I wouldn't be too far of a stretch at this. Pretty well written also.
Agreed. So sticking with the Microsoft semi-Microsoft related news, this broke today actually. A little bit of a shocking kind of news. I mean, good for these guys for sure, but it does definitely raises couple questions that we should talk about. A bunch of folks from Playground Games have decided to leave Playground Games to form their own studio called Maverick Games. Now, right now, their website isn't a whole lot. It's just kind of there. So we'll see what's coming. They're based out of Leamington Spa, UK. And so what I found interesting, and again, I don't know what this means, but it's worth asking. And what's up? What just happened? Did I say, hey, Scepter? Brother Scepter's here too. So the team is led by studio head and creative director Myke Brown, who was previously the creative director on the Forza Horizon franchise. So your creative guy for Forza Horizon is gone. Other ex-Playground veterans, including...
Yeah, he was the creative director for Forza Horizon 5.
Yes, he was.
Not the previous versions, just FYI.
Okay. So he maybe... Did he work on the other ones and then was just the...
I think he might have worked on the other ones, yes.
Okay.
But he was not the creative director.
Kind of moved his way up.
Executive director, producer, whatever he is. Was.
Yep. Joined by other ex-Playground veterans, including executive producer Tom Butcher, CTO Matt Craven, who does sound familiar, content director Gareth Harwood, and audio director Fraser Strachan. Ben Penrose has joined the company as art director from Shark Mob, but was also a former Playground employee. And Eli Marshall has been named UX UI director following her role as experienced design director at EA. Running the studio itself is COO Harinder Sangha, who is an award-winning studio leader who helped form Sega Hardlight and Sumo Leamington. Company has 10 employees with the aim to grow to 140, which of course they are openly seeking resumes and such. So,
I mean, not really surprising, because, I mean,
No.
Forza Horizon 5 is practically done, right? We're waiting on one DLC. After that, it's pretty much done.
Yeah.
Then the other thing is, like, the whole Forza Motorsport thing, it's now going to be more like, you know,
that's the
a
focus
single
now.
Forza world. I mean, it's possible that it's both getting rolled up in somehow the same, you know, spiel. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. I think
The
know,
Fable
Yeah.
staff, those positions have been filled, so it's not
So that's
that,
my
you know.
question: is does this? I mean, because it's not.
No.
Well.
So
the
they're not.
reason I
They were
ask-
not working on Fable,
no.
so it's not like, you know.
Tom
and those
Butcher-
positions probably have been filled. So
So none of these people were working on Fable either.
That we know of.
right.
Ex-playground veterans. So
I
we don't
don't
know how
know.
long.
That's what I'm asking.
You know.
You know,
Yeah. I mean,
audio.
And they
mean,
might
they've
have, I
been-
don't know, but
Playground's been hiring, so it's not a, these guys, hey, we're leaving, we're gonna. It's not like there's someone behind them that can move up into that.
right. I mean,
obviously
it's
this
the end
guy-
of their it's the end of the Forza Horizon 5, so it's like, you know,
Yeah.
you wait until the project is done, and you know.
And we don't even know if there's gonna be a Forza Horizon 6. Who knows what's the plan going forward for that friend, that part of, I mean.
That's what I said. It might be
Yeah.
rolled under the main Forza world or whatever they call it.
Well, they do. Doesn't Playground helped with the? It's like Turn 10 helps with the vehicles on Horizon, but then in return,
Yeah, the simulation
Playground was
engines
helping
and
with the
stuff.
environment and all that other stuff.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, I think so because I'm pretty sure Forza Tech was Turn 10's, wasn't it?
Yeah, like they worked together when they, the first Horizon or so on, and I think there's collaboration between them both. After that,
No, there definitely was.
Yeah.
So I know. Look, best of luck to them. They've got a lot of talent there. Just interesting that it dovetails to still not knowing a whole lot about what Fable's got going on, and then you just see, Playground Games leaders form new studio, and you're like, we talked about the turnover at the coalition, or not the coalition, at
initiative.
the initiative, and so it's not unreasonable to think, okay, now what? What's going on now? But I mean, this seems like they're going in there. So what's different about this is they're going and they're just forming their own studio together. They're just branching off, to make their own.
And that's
studio.
why we don't have to worry about ABK. People start their new studios,
It happens a lot.
Round up.
People,
Yeah.
Go on their own, split up.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do well, sometimes they don't.
I mean, if you don't take risks, there might
Mhm.
not be rewards.
Very true. Very true.
But
And
it's
be in
interesting
charge of
that-
your own destiny,
With their experience there at Playground, how, see what they come up with. Being they mentioned AAA open world, so.
Yeah.
And who knows, they have a relationship with Playground and Xbox. Whatever they're working on could end up on Game Pass day one.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, and we'll, again, Fable's something I would love to see a little more about.
Yeah. Not early. Don't even expect that in June either.
Boo!
Yeah.
Xbox sucks. Xbox has no games.
Unless it's coming out early 24, I wouldn't expect it. I see that more of a fall game, maybe. Who knows, though?
I don't know. Well, that's
How they want to play that out.
I mean, they haven't. That's one of the things that could happen, right? They haven't shown really jack shit on it, but they could come out of nowhere and be like, look what we've been working on.
Yeah, true.
You know, which would be, again, would be nice. Just get a little taste. You know, give us a little something and say, hey, I'm not dead yet. You know, that kind of thing. That's really all. But like to, it's just it's a like to have.
Oh yeah.
I'm always going to err on the side of at least wanting to know what's going on in them. You know, that's just kind of I try to be consistent that way. Just tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
So all that said, you know, best of luck to them. It's best I could say it. So, yes, I did post to Discord. I could post it again. Let me see if I have the. Where's that link? Where's that link to the Discord? I think I have to create another one. There you go. Link to Discord. So. Oh, by the way, Forspoken comes out this month. It's another game I'm very curious on. I've got to catch up. I got to catch up with my PlayStation games because I haven't. I've been a little busy with other things.
Do you have it horizontally or vertically?
What the fuck was that? What was this all about?
We don't know. Bunch of conflicting things. One part is like people's like, yeah, you know, it starts to leak if you open it up and
out
you
of
don't
nowhere.
put it back together correctly. But then there's some people where they never did anything and
They're just
they had some
had a
leakage.
vertical.
So who
just-
knows? I don't know.
whatever.
It's probably very rare. But
Well, it's probably that like I guess they needed to get it fixed. They sent it to repair place, and supposedly that's what whoever they sent it for repair saying that.
I mean, if the repair place
there's an issue with the being vertical and the thermal paste and all that, whatever they're using now,
liquid metal.
liquid metal.
Oh, come on.
Hey, but if the Sony repair places are the same as half of the Sony packaging and shipping, then I can see that happening. Remember those games that were like all mangled and stuff?
I know, but
boxes?
still.
I know. For Sony's sake, hopefully they don't have an RROD equivalent on their hands.
I don't think they do.
Could be an early warning. And I mean, we're going 2 years.
Yeah,
we don't know.
I mean, you don't know.
I did ask a question. So, like, has anybody taken the PS5 apart to see if there's some issue there? Like, to say that to warrant this concern of having your PS5 vertical? You know, I don't know. It just came out of nowhere, and so we'll see. I mean, if it keeps coming out more and more, then maybe there is something there. But you know, whatever.
I would think that if this was a widespread epidemic of PS5s that are leaking metal like Terminator 2.
Well, you don't know if it's leaking. If there are no other consequences besides the leakage. Yeah, it might
Well, that's just
you may not have
be a
it
while
affected
till you
till,
figure
like,
it out. You know.
3-5 years, and
I mean,
by then
your
you're
console
already.
might freeze because there's not good cooling going on at one point. We don't know.
Well, I know yours isn't doing it because you've played a bunch of games on it all the way through. So I know yours is good.
Yeah, for now. That's why I'm always turn mine all the way off. I thought, like, can that liquid metal can solidify.
Every time I put, I've had my consoles, horizontally, and I've gotten yelled at for it. So both my Xbox and my PlayStation are vertical.
It just doesn't look good. It needs to
looks
stand up
better.
tall.
It looks better vertical, but it might be safer staying horizontal. You never know.
It does look better vertical, honestly, because of the way the Bizarro shape is.
Yeah, same thing with to me, the Series X looks better vertical than horizontal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny how that is, right? Because the last few gens, I preferred them horizontal.
But it's also the way they look, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the Series X is kind of it's kind of tall for laying on its side.
Yeah, but I liked the Series X on its side.
No.
See, what?
Hey, it just doesn't look good. It's too fat.
It's too fat. It looks like the monolith from 2001: A Space Odyssey when it's upright.
I'd rather have the VCR at that point.
It's not as big as a VCR. Come on.
No, but it looks like if you have it horizontal, it looks like two Xbox One X's on top of each other.
It's like an Oreo without filling, It's like, where's the stuffing?
Oh my goodness. I can't with you guys. No, I mean, seriously, I think that there are much more pressing issues.
Yes.
But that said,
the PlayStation 5 is ugly as a... Yeah. Well, it's just
not pretty. It's not a pretty console. Let's be honest. It's a great console, but it's not a pretty one. It's not.
No.
But,
what else are you looking for on that?
Consoles. I would say the PlayStation 5 is right up there.
Yeah. The PS2 was best looking PlayStation console for me, anyways.
I like the PS1.
I always liked the way that one. The PS2.
I always
thought that one was the best looking one.
That was, but PS1 was also a good looking console.
It was cool, yeah.
I give it that one. That was a pretty good looking console. It was. Well, here's a great question. What is your favorite all-together looking console? And actually, let's throw that into the chat too. And I see brother Big Block. Oh, he's got the black plates on his PS5. That I think would make it look
that's something
better.
that I would do if I had a PS5.
That maybe I need to invest in that. Because I think
just don't look at it. Mine is high up on a cabinet. It's like.
Well, so is mine. But
actually, like my color combo, I like is black and green. So I would probably do the plates like a dark green, Highland green or whatever, and then
like a Joy-Con.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
Brother Nate should have gone with the vagina. Jeez, Nate. All right, so in the chat, I want you guys to answer this too, and they're already starting to. What to you is the best looking console or handheld that you've ever seen? So, Peter, best looking console.
Best looking console besides the Commodore 64 is the second one, whatever. Not the bread box. I would say this. I like the Xbox One, the VCR. That looks.
Wow.
I like the finish. It just looked right, with the rest of the stuff.
Wow. The original Xbox, the OG.
And the Series X, I like it too. Just the
Okay.
top, but it's completely different.
All right. Chris, what's your favorite looking or the best looking console in your mind?
Might surprise y'all. I mean, obviously, I do like the way the Series X looks. I just like the tower and all that and the top part. But I would think overall, and like I said, I mentioned the PS2. I like the way that looked.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always had a thing for the GameCube. I don't know.
The GameCube.
The box with the handle, the top disc, and
that is.
I still have mine. I
had
had the old one that my oldest had.
It's almost like Tupperware.
I don't know. I just like it. Like I just grabbed the handle and then moved, yeah, just whatever. I don't know. I just like the way it looks.
Not a bad choice. I gotta go.
You know what? You know what console I was disappointed with? Scorpio. You know, we had like the overhang. It was not symmetrical. That has always bothered me.
Ah, that's what Dr. Dinglenut is saying. He likes the 1X. No, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the Sega Dreamcast. That's my favorite looking console. Had that nice orange light at the front. It was compact. It was small. It was it was a little sleek. I think that's my favorite looking console. It fits really nicely in my entertainment center. Although, if it comes to fruality, I'm just making words up now.
Really?
Fruality. It's kind of fruality. What was in my coffee? What was in that popcorn I was eating?
I don't know. What was in your coffee?
Fraxis. See, Darth Fraxis, fruality. I got a thing with the letter F. That's what it is. It's gonna be my favorite looking console once it gets out.
Once it comes out, that one.
Yeah, that one.
You know what one I also like? The Wii. Small little white little box.
The Wii was a good console. Yes, the
Yeah,
Wii was a good
slick.
console.
Yeah.
Yes, that is. Thank you, Back. I'm trying not to say it out loud, but I can say it out loud.
Yeah. You say that word too many times, and
because
Tommy comes out.
technically it's not out, so it can't be the best looking console because it's not out yet. But it's in my entertainment center, so technically for me it can be.
So big block is the fat 60 gigabyte. Isn't that the George Foreman right there?
That's the Foreman.
George.
All right, so hold on.
My brother had that one.
All right,
Wasn't that the first one that you can back compat?
Oh yes, that was
my
the
brother
original.
Had that. I told him not to sell it, and he did.
No, yeah.
I tried telling him.
Oh, what's up, brother Boogeyman? Boogie's in the house. All right, so Scepter said Saturn. You could make
no,
a
he
case.
said Genesis, or did he say Saturn earlier?
He said Saturn looked better.
He said Genesis too.
Hold on, wait a minute. Where did? And he also wanted to know top 3 ugliest, so we'll get to that. We could talk about that. He said Saturn looked better. What just happened says N64. That's a decent looking console. Let me see if I've got
it is, yeah.
That's a decent looking. Here, I should have I should have images of some of these. So
what I liked about the 64 and the GameCube is that you can get them in different colors. I did like that.
I have a purple GameCube.
Yeah. I had one too at one time, and then this one I have is the silver one.
So let's see what I've got here.
One of the ugliest is the Switch for a console. It's ugly.
All right, so he said the So Scepter said the Saturn.
You have an image of all the bunch of consoles on it?
I do. Well, here. I got the
that's
Saturn.
Just one. Do we have one that's?
I don't have one that's got all of them. So there's the Saturn. Not a horrible console. It's not. I mean, it's not my favorite looking. For me, I'm gonna go back the Dreamcast. Like I say, nice, sleek. Had that nice orange in the front. So here's the N64, which is what just happened said. He said his favorite's the N64. Do I have an N64 here? Yes, I do. That wasn't a bad looking console.
Yeah.
That's a neat little thing.
I did like the way I like even like in the GameCube where you have the controllers up front, the round connectors and all that. I've always liked that.
Oh, Rico went old school. I think I
did.
have it.
Yeah.
I can get down with this though. So here, the original Intellivision.
He did have one of those. I remember that in his room.
Now,
but you know what? This might surprise you. Me being a Nintendo guy. Like, okay, NES and Super NES were nice, but I liked the way the Sega Master System looked better. I just like that sleek look, the black and red. Every time I go to Rico's house, I was drawn to that look.
That was a slick looking console.
Yes, that is, and I still want to get one of those, but of course, you know, we couldn't afford them. Well, not that we couldn't have gotten one, but my brother had more input on it, and so, you know, we chose the Nintendo. He chose Nintendo over that. But yeah, I love the way that one looks. That's probably my favorite Metro.
All right, Toto Dope says the Game Gear. I don't know if I've got a picture of the Game Gear or not. I can always go get one. Oh, I do have a Game Gear. No, the Game Gear wasn't terrible. It was definitely better than the Game Boy. Not as nice as the Lynx.
Because it was first in color
Yeah.
at the time.
I think the Lynx was. Cousin Mike probably likes the wooden station wagon as well. Hey, my Founders Edition Amico is wood grain. I'll have you know, sir. The Lynx
mine too,
looked,
unfortunately.
I agree. Unfortunately, I think it's going to look better than you think. The more I look at the black, the more I'm glad I got the. I know everybody likes, you know, just straight black colors, but the more I look at that, I think the wood grain's going to look nicer. I'm going down the list, so I know some people have said. Cerebral Paul says the Soylent Green console, very good. The launch PS4 sounds like an F-15 fighter jet. Yes, it did. So Nate said the Wii U. I don't have a picture of the Wii U. Let me search.
Well, the Wii U, but then you have that Wii U pad, but that's looks bad. But yeah, the console itself, it's kind of like a black Wii.
Actually, it was. Here, well, it was black or white, but here's a picture of the black one. That was the black Wii U, which actually...
Yeah. It's a little bit more rounded than the sides, though.
Nice and
The
compact.
Wii was more square.
Oh. Super Famicom. Scepter. Coming in with the Super Famicom. Let's take a look at that one. Because that was different than the SNES.
Yeah, that was the European version, right?
Yeah. So here's the Super Famicom. Yeah. That was a sexy little console.
Yeah.
Was that also the same look in Japan too?
That is the look in Japan.
Because the US had a different with the purple, and you know, it was just. I never knew that back then. And when I found that, I was like, huh?
Oh,
okay.
Use cassette with Super Famicom Mark only. So that's the Super Famicom, and of course the the Super Nintendo. We all know what that looks like. I don't think the Super Nintendo looked as good.
No,
the
it
Super
was okay,
Famicom
but
definitely looked better than that. The Gears 4 Xbox One S. That was a nice looking console, actually.
Yeah.
What just happened said, so we all agree that a PS5 is the ugliest console.
Yeah, I agree. That's one.
That one looked pretty good.
And that had
I didn't like the way the PS3 looked either.
I wasn't a fan of the PS3 look.
Oh.
But I love this. This was cool because this had those etched slashes in it.
Yeah.
What else we got? So,
between the 360 and
3DO.
Some of these, I think Xbox did great custom stuff on 360 and
when they did,
and some Xbox Ones. And you know, remember when we were talking about when the Series S and X were coming out? We're like, hey, you know, these things will look good in different colors and this and that. And we only had the Halo 1 edition, right? That's the only custom that's come out for the Series X. But they haven't done anything with the Series S.
All right,
yet.
here's the Panasonic 3DO. I don't know that I don't know if I really like. It looked more like a table without legs.
Mm.
Yeah.
Praxis says Sega Dreamcast hands down. I knew I liked him. Oh, the R2D2 360. That.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Always wanted to get that one.
That was a sexy console. Let me see if I can get a.
What's the OG Halo one? Is that like the green?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a neat. Let me see if I can get a bigger picture of this one. That was a.
Yeah, and then with the C3PO controller, yeah, that was just like a great combo.
Yeah, that was a sexy console.
One of the best.
Yeah.
The Black Dreamcast Sports Edition. That was also a fantastic. Well, what's up, Sir X Man? Snuck in here on us. That was the Dreamcast Sports Edition. I always wanted one of those, but I already had the regular Dreamcast. This was a beautiful looking Dreamcast. Had the Sega Sports logo on it. Oops.
Almost looks like one of the CD mans.
Yeah. No, that was a pretty console. So Paul liked the 1X. He said he liked the clean, the flat, clean surface. So
yeah, I did. I like the 1X.
Oh, the Chrome X. Yeah.
So here's that's the Gold Rush Special Edition. Let's just take a look at a regular 1X.
No, it was clean. I mean, it
was a clean console.
Yeah.
Just not symmetrical.
No, but it was small too.
It was.
Yeah.
I like the Gears edition.
Big blocks of the KFC console. GameCube was clean.
Was that ever a thing? The KFC console?
I don't think it ever was. I think that was a joke, and they milked that joke for all they could.
Oh yeah, they're trying to get gamers to buy KFC.
Yeah. Why do I not have a GameCube? That's weird. All right.
You gotta have a GameCube out there.
I mean, I have a GameCube. I just don't have a picture of the GameCube.
Yeah. Yeah, Ice Five one.
Yeah, the purple was the most common one.
Yeah, that's a nice con. That's the one I've got.
Yeah.
And I've got the Game Boy Advance player underneath of it.
That looks like a Fisher Price thing, you know?
I know, it does look like a Fisher Price toy. It does. It does.
I just liked it. Just like picking it up. I don't know why.
It's like it's.
And then little disc, and it had the little disc. You know.
Yeah. It's not the most. It's not the sexiest console.
No. But I always thought it was clean and it wasn't big, and you know.
The original Xbox concept console. I remember that.
Yeah, the aluminum.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Where it was.
Hey, what's up, Myke Hawk?
There it is. Hey, Myke Hawk. That was the original dev kit. Sold for $20,000 on eBay.
Dang. Just for scrap metal.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, thank you, Sir X Man, for $2 super chat. He says Sega Master System.
Yep, we showed the Master. That's the Master System did not get enough love.
It didn't. But
I'm so sad that I never had one during that era.
Yeah.
There it is.
But see, the thing is, I never knew anything about the Sega Master System until I went to my buddy Rico's house. That's how I found out about it.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't. No.
I mean, I probably saw it in the ads, but I don't know why. It was like, well, we got a Nintendo. Yeah. There was no point in really focusing on it.
Wait, I said not that one, Mike. The white ice with the skull. Oh, is a different Gears.
Oh, the Gears one.
Yeah.
5.
E1X.
The Gears 5 series? Hold on.
Yeah, I think there's
that one. You see
here it is.
the one has
6, 7, whatever, 8.
Here it
yeah,
is.
that one.
yeah. I have
That
the
one.
controller.
Yeah, I have that one.
Got it. That other one was really nice
I
too.
traded in my Scorpio at GameStop, and for $50 I got this one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I remember
with
you
the
saying
skull.
that. Yeah.
It's like,
There it
hey, another year warranty, $50 with that.
Got it.
Nice.
The S though, guys, the S was a good-looking console too.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
Well, one thing with this one, I wish it had a light underneath, kind of a blue light. That would
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, they're talking WWE. Let's see that Big X. Hey, 3-Bit! Welcome, 3-Bit. It's been way too long, man. What's going on? It's good to see you, brother. I hope all is well. I hope you are doing well. Let's see. The NES top loader was better looking than the front loader. That's a good point. That's a good point. That was the remade NES, right? The Gen, I guess not Gen 2, but the that was the, did they call it the NES, like the mini NES or something like that? I don't know if it was, I'm not saying it was a good looking console. I think it was like a NES Slim.
Yeah. No.
Oh. Sir X-Man still has his Master System. That's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Nice.
So, let's see. I got you guys. I got you.
Hey, what's up, Brian F? You just popped in.
Whoa, thank you, Dr.
Oh.
Dinglenet. Welcome to Friends of NLG. Welcome.
Welcome, Doctor. Magnavox Odyssey reminds me of Disney Tomorrowland styling. I haven't seen an Odyssey in a while. Let me see what that looks like. As the topic says, welcome to Gaming 2023, everyone.
Hey, and what do we do?
We kind of started
Remember-
talking about the up and coming Xbox show that's going to be hopefully soon.
That no one's actually. Oh, he's been
Talked
in
about
game
Starfield.
82 years.
Deadland.
We're waiting for games for 82 years.
Yeah, somehow we got on the subject of favorite looking consoles, and now we're just going back in time.
And ugliest ones.
So
What about
Yeah.
the OG Xbox? Cool looking, or I like man?
No, I like the OG Xbox.
I like the OG
It looks
Xbox.
very rugged. That's what I love.
It was, yeah.
And I
Oh.
took that one with me to places. It's like, oh yeah.
Hold on. Sir X is also bringing up TurboGrafx. I don't know that it was my favorite looking console, but was pretty sweet. I'll tell you what was a great handheld though, was the TurboGrafx Express, the Turbo Express. What a it fit very nicely in your hand. It ate batteries like a monster, but there's the 16. What I did like,
What's that little space down there in
where?
the front, right
Here?
front?
It's
for your credit card?
Yeah, so there were two different types of TurboGrafx games. There were cartridges and there were cards.
Okay,
No.
that's where to go.
The cards go in there. The cartridges, I think, went back here. In the back.
Okay.
Oh, what else we got? Thanks, Nate. He said he loves this show. The NEC Super Graphics. Do I remember that one? I know there was one. Oh, this is what it would have looked like.
Whoa.
That is not a sexy looking console by any stretch.
No, it's like there are parts missing.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to show the Game Gear again. He said, case Sir X, you did not see. There's this Game Gear, which was a good looking handheld. But I will say that I think the better looking handheld was the Lynx. I really like the Lynx. So Lynx versus Game Gear.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of like the Game Gear better.
All right, fair.
The other the Lynx is almost look like the left and the right pieces are like Joy-Cons that you can take off.
Well, you could flip the. So this was one where you could actually flip the Lynx over.
Uh-huh.
And then they did remake it. Hang on, they did. There was a this was the Lynx too. The original Lynx looked like this, and the idea was you could see how the A and I don't know if you could see it, but the A and B buttons are upside down here, so that the second person could play it, or you could play it, you could flip it and play it left-handed or right-handed. So kind of.
Oh, you mean you can?
You could flip the screen.
Just like a Joy-Con. You can take them off and put them on the other side. Well, Joy-Con you cannot do. But...
Except in this one, you just hit this flip button and it flips the screen.
Ah, okay. I see.
And the Lynx was great looking too. It was a great looking games. Let's see. The cartridge, the CD-ROM. Turbo. Did I show the 5200? No, I did not. That was an ugly console.
Another one that's ugly, which I didn't know existed, was the Sega Master System 2.
I have to look. Oh, you're not allowed to watch. You can't look at my. There.
Bad.
Yeah, that was not a pretty console. Although it did have. I just realized something. We've always said that the Nintendo GameCube was the first console with 4 controller ports. Negative.
Yeah.
Negative. The Atari 5200
Yeah,
did.
Yeah, that's true. But well-known one.
The 5200 was well known. It just flopped.
Yeah.
It was coming off of the. There's a whole story. Here's one of the great things about. I don't want to go off on a tangent. One of the great things about the Atari 50 collection is the history you get to see about how the 5200 came about, why it went south, how they got to the 7800. I had the Atari computers. So what I had was an Atari 800, which eventually I had gotten an Atari 1200 XL. So this was some of my first computer action. The Atari computer and the Atari 5200 were kind of made from the same stuff. So the games were portable and identical looking to each other. So it was really cool in that way. And Atari computers here in the U.S. were very popular.
Ugly one is the Philips G7000.
Yeah. Oh, the Neo Geo. Now, I had a Neo Geo. I don't anymore. And I'll show the X as well. But the original Neo Geo was a decent looking console. What in the world? All right, hang on. That's a slow site. Let's not use that site. It's a slick looking console, but the beauty of this console was in the controller. Let me see here. This was the controller. It was one of the first systems out there that shipped with a really good arcade style joystick. So, he said, "Oh no, not the X." Well, now I have to show the X. Oh, this handheld. It's actually not a horrible looking handheld, honestly. Of course, I don't know how you get the games in it. Hardy har har. Interesting. I had forgotten about the Neo Geo X. This is a see. Oh, he had an N-Gage. Sure, X-Man had an N-Gage. You guys remember the N-Gage? Peter, did you ever see the N-Gage?
No.
So
pictures, but
so the N-Gage was. Let's see if there's a picture of the first one. So you had to take the battery out to change games in the.
yeah, that's horrible.
Yes, they fixed it.
Unless battery
later.
life was so bad that by the time it's like your battery went dead, it's like
Yeah.
time
It
for a different
wasn't-
game. But
It wasn't a terrible, because it was also a phone. But you held the phone like. Tell me if I'm wrong, X-Man. You had to hold the phone like this, sideways to talk. Not like this. See, we're going back in time. I was covering the N-Gage as part of NLG back in the day. Oh my goodness. All right, Nick. Have a good night, brother. Tandy Vision 1. I don't even remember what we were talking
I remember
about.
seeing those at GameStop when they were.
Oh,
They
the
were pushing
Tandy
those.
Vision. Which was basically an Intellivision. Reboxed like they used to do. That's funny. Oh, how funny is that? And of course, so with the Intellivision, I think I've shown it before. I'll have to put my headset down for a second. A nicer looking remake with worse controllers was the Intellivision 2. So if you weren't a wood grain fan, then you could use this. And this is a nice little console. It was the Intellivision 2, right? But the controllers were terrible. The side buttons were absolutely horrible. The keypads were really crap, and the disc wasn't as good as the original. So unfortunately, a much nicer looking console. And then if you had the IntelliVoice, which did the voice synthesis, that was a whole different color. So now it looked like this monstrosity. Just to play 5 games.
oh,
Oh. They were great games, don't get me wrong. B-17 Bomber, Bomb Squad, Space Spartans, and 4 games, Tron Solar Sailor. So, Darth had an Apple IIe. I had those in school.
Yeah, at school, yeah. And Dark brings up, realized with inflation, today the original Neo Geo would cost over $1,700 in today's money.
That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember those in school.
So, So anyway, the hell were we talking about?
Well, no. So we were talking about the PS5 and what.
Oh, right, the liquid cooling.
The liquid metal.
Yeah. I'm not sure how we got onto retro consoles.
I think
because we were
like,
to.
The way it looks ugly, and then it's like, what was your favorite looking console? Yeah, we kind of saw a scroll and went that way. But no, that was fun. And then just thinking about, what was my favorite? I really did like the I had a PS4 Slim, and I really liked because you could fit it underneath the TVs, the Slim TVs, but how low they are, but you can still fit a Slim in. And then that's why the PS4 Pro was big, and I had that standing up, I guess, because I had the Spider-Man edition one, so it just looked better standing up, vertical.
Yeah, those looked okay. I think those looked fine.
Yeah, they
vertical.
were okay.
I think those looked fine vertical.
But it was huge, though.
It was.
That PS4 Pro was huge.
It was. I never had one, but I saw them in stores. They were definitely a pretty good size. So, all right. Well,
real quick, back on this show that Xbox wants to come out here soon. I hope
that we
hopefully here in the 25th, I guess, whatever.
Right.
And there's been talk out there like what format, people like State of Play and Nintendo Direct, where they just pretty much straight to the point, right? They show a trailer, they show whatever, and they just keep going. And you don't really see anybody. You just hear someone talking. I don't know. I mean, what would y'all like to see? We saw, in the past they would do Inside Xbox, where they do a little bit of combo of revealing a game trailer, and then they'll talk about it with the developer. And some people didn't like that. They just didn't like the pacing. Sometimes they felt like it's too much talking. Sitting around with somebody, the dev. They just wanted more of the gameplay and so on. And we haven't really seen anything. I know the pandemic kind of nobody can get together in person. Major Nelson, he does his podcast. You see him on Twitter, but really haven't seen anything from him, like bringing a show back together, whatever. So how would y'all like to see this formatted? If they're going to show kind of like the last part of the roadmap, the 12-month roadmap that they showed since last June, and so they're going to show that these up until June, I guess. Of course, the big three, right? Starfield, Forza,
right,
and Redfall. But then there are going to be Minecraft and a couple other games are going to be showing to reveal the dates and when they're coming out. So, what do y'all think about that as far as format? How would y'all like to see that?
Go to the first 10, 15 minutes, whatever. Just, the highlights of everything.
Yeah.
With dates, etc. And then after that, then go into depth of each one that you want to go, show some more and talk with developers. Don't do it all like one after the other, because then...
Right, give them some breathing room.
Yeah, and then people, if they're not interested, they saw the highlights and stuff, and then, they can go on with the rest of their day.
Yeah. I know they've done in the past, right? They'll show the games trailer, whatever, and then they're like, all right, stay tuned for after the show, where then they start talking to the developers.
Yeah.
And get it more deep dive. So is Starfield, if Bethesda, Todd Howard's planning on having his own deep dive event. Here we might see a trailer, reveal date, but I could see them, giving Forza a little bit of time and Redfall, I guess, right?
Yeah, they're gonna give those. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, what I want, I'm happy. I'd be happy just knowing when stuff's coming. But then, obviously, the thing about deep dives, they're cool, but at the same time, too much of a deep dive, I think, is a bad thing. Because then you start to lose what the game is. Or not, you don't lose what the game is. You lose any of the surprise elements of the game. Things that you...
Yeah.
Like, I've played... now you've shown me this entire freaking level, so now I've seen the game. It's somewhat of why. Remember how I used to always say that, to me, betas were demos, just called betas. I used to carry that stick. And Destiny was a game that I felt that way about, because I played the beta, and then when the game came out, it was exactly what I played in the beta, and so I was bored. I don't know that I want to see... I don't know if I want to see 15, 20 minutes of Redfall. I didn't watch 15, 20 minutes of Horizon Forbidden West or God of War, because I didn't want to be...
Well, yeah, you have to do it,
Yeah, I just didn't want to be...
You can just highlight some mechanics or some little things, but not like,
Right.
I think if they do a good job, like with the trailer, where they reveal it and show some new footage, and then give a little bit of introduction of what the game is about, right? Just do a good, quick explanation of what the game is about. Give us the release date, and then say, stay tuned. You could catch more info coming out here soon before release, maybe on the studio's YouTube channel, whatever, stuff like that. State of Decay did a pretty good job about that, like slowly talking about it, over time and before the game came out, and then answering questions from anybody that was in the chat, when they would go live. But I think kind of similar to both State of Play and Nintendo Direct, just get straight to the point. Could do a nice trailer. Obviously, this is something that they want to reveal, this next 6 months, because that's what they said they would. They want to highlight this first half of 23. So I think they should just stick to that. Because June show is going to be where we'll get what's going on after that, right?
Right.
Summer, fall, and maybe a little bit beyond.
No, it's true. Here's Darth has a great, his take. Well, his first take is a little more hot take than mine. A couple breakdowns into newer titles, rather than rehashing Redfall, Starfield, and Forza. I'd like to see more of Hellblade 2, Perfect Dark, and others. Let the game hype itself with peaks and short gameplay clips. Showing too much can take away from the experience. I agree with that second part wholeheartedly. I don't want to work myself up into thinking. I think my issue is I don't want to pretend that Microsoft is going to do what we really think they should, which is what I think is what Darth Practice is saying. I would like to see. Show me just if you want to do another 5 minutes of Redfall, fine. If you want to do another 5 minutes of Starfield, great. Forza, you could show a lot of Forza because we know what we're getting with Forza. And that's more sports than single player driven story stuff. but people still continue to wonder. Okay, great. So, all right, we figure that Perfect Dark is a year out because they're not talking about it. So, give us something. Give us a little something, and then say, hey, watch out for more later on this year. And it doesn't have to be
maybe
a lot.
At the end if they want to give us a little teaser.
Yeah.
Like this is what
give
to
us a gameplay
see
slice
in June. Say more in June.
Yeah, or even, hey,
if they want to do
that. Look out for more later this year. Hellblade 2, they've shown some things. That would be awesome with Hellblade 2 is if they were far enough along to put a launch date on it.
I think it's going to be. I think it would be ready for this fall.
That's how I feel like that should be.
But I saw something that said that they weren't a big studio in the first place when they did Hellblade 1, right?
Right.
And now I think they're up to like maybe 140 or so. And it's a lot, but not a lot compared to other studios, So, and the game is bigger than, I guess they originally intended, right? Because now they have that Xbox money.
Right. They have that Xbox
There you
money.
go, Peter.
Whoa, Sir X-Man with a $2 super chat. Xbox show me a Burnout 3 Takedown remaster, please.
I would love a new Burnout, period.
Yeah.
Who was the studio on that?
Burnout was Criterion.
Yeah.
And they're gone, right? They've been
they were part of EA. Yeah, they were part of EA. I don't know what happened to them. No. It reminds me, Sir X, man, we were talking about this before the show of folks that I want to bring on. Unless you're at work, looks like you might be available on a Tuesday night.
Well, he was on GAD.
Yeah. So we could sweet talk Sir X-Man and coming on and talking some gaming with us next couple weeks. I got a list. I've got the list started. I talked to, and in fact, Sir X-Man was hanging out. Oh, he's at work listening. So thank you for that, by the way. That means a lot.
Yeah.
That means a lot too. That you're at work.
That, Sir X-Man.
Definitely. So.
Praxis, and Dark Praxis was on GAD too.
Yep.
Hey,
he said,
we'll get you on too at some point.
Trying to. I wasn't trying to poke it at anything about that. I'm just saying.
But
yeah. So I'm starting my list of folks that we want to have come on. Praxis, I'd love to have you on. I know you've been on GAD. You were a good guest there. Would love to have you come on and talk some gaming with us. Absolutely. Look at Ham Solo from. I can never get the I can never get the acronym right. I'm gonna get it right. TSWS Gaming. Oh, come on, Paul. All right, so hold on. Paul, you never have to wait for an invitation. All you have to do is reach out, is just hit us up and say,
what's the secret password?
Exactly. And Paul knows. Exactly. Paul knows what the secret password is.
Mm-hmm.
Paul has the open invitation, as all Gamers United Guild folks do, and all guests who are on our show always have an open invite. So you do not have to wait, Paul. You could easily say, hey, got room for me. That's what Dreadpool is the only one that does it. He's the only one who has followed that rule. He will hit me up and say, hey, Myke, I'm on vacation this week. And I'm like, okay, cool, penciled you in. The secret password is pineapple. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's TSWS, which is They Said We Said Gaming. That's what I could never get it completely right, and I should. So, dude, Paul.
Yeah.
No, you don't even, Yobi, don't even, because you know you could do the same thing. You hide behind your lawyer. You know, you hide behind Jay, your attorney.
Oh, I know the Retro Renegades. They're gonna get demonetized and everything because you can't cuss now on this show.
Oh,
so
crap.
just shut the front door. That's all you gotta do. Shut the front door.
How about in the first 15 seconds, right?
That's right. I was safe. We didn't come on and say, "Hey, everybody, F you." So we're so. I want to know what channels have been doing that have that caused this change of they just come on and it always reminds me of an Eddie Murphy skit from Raw. I don't just come on stage and, hey, what's up, MF this and suck my dick, and in the first 15 seconds. No. I'm good. I've banned and fired myself. That sounds like a you problem. Lizard says you can come back on. I'm just saying, Lizard gives you permission.
But now you know why we have a very long intro. Two intros. It's 15 plus seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we just took the welcome gamers and just moved it to the end, because I think now we're just rambling. I don't have anything else to talk about.
No.
I don't have anything else.
We're just waiting, on these rumors about the Xbox show here soon coming out, and everybody keeps talking about these dates, Starfield and Redfall and when and how. And, I've seen people say, oh, hopefully soon they get all this out and then lay it out for the next few months. This is what and when.
And just come out with games.
Just keep happy. There's so many things out there. Everybody's like, oh, I think it might get delayed to November and all this. I'm like, yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to when Xbox, officially reveals the show, and then we know when it's going to happen, and we'll go from there.
All right.
Maybe we'll get lucky and be on Tuesday.
Maybe.
It'll be nice.
It would be nice.
There's Dredd. We were just talking about him. His ears perked up.
Yeah.
Oh. We could talk about how Adam Sessler's a douchebag, but let's not do that.
Yeah.
We could.
Yeah, I don't follow him anymore.
I did put. I know. He stopped being relevant after G4 the first time, but never mind.
Pretty much.
Okay, so I did put it on the thumbnail. We do need to just at least talk about it. The FTC has decided they're gonna fight this damn acquisition. I don't understand why, but they brought on the FTC brought on the same attorney that fought the Qualcomm. Go ahead, Peter.
No.
What?
Proceed. Come on, you're holding up the show.
You started to say something, and nah.
Yeah, it's.
Yo, I want to hear it. And the only thing I was going to do was bring up something that was that Tom Warren tweeted out, the Game Gear, about the ZeniMax did unionize, which I don't want to get into that. That is that's a whole separate conversation that doesn't. I have no real desire to talk about. But in that, Microsoft took out an ad in the Washington Post that literally that literally harkens it to the Bethesda, the Activision acquisition. It is hilarious. So I'm going to read this to you because I'm sure people can't see it, especially if you're watching this on your phone. As we enter a new year, we remain committed to creating the best workplaces we can for people who make a living in the tech sector. When both labor and management bring their voices to the bargaining table, employees, shareholders, and customers alike benefit. This includes the more than 300 employees at Microsoft ZeniMax Media Studios who have exercised their legal right to vote to form a union. This is in keeping with the new groundbreaking labor neutrality principles that the Communications Workers of America and Microsoft established last year. Again, however you want to, whatever your position is on that is your position on that. But here's the part that I find great and funny. During 2023, we hope to bring the same agreement and principles to Activision Blizzard, which Microsoft has proposed to acquire. We aren't asking the FTC to ignore competition concerns. On the contrary, we believe it's important to explore solutions that protect competition and consumers while also promoting the needs of workers' economic growth and American innovation. We believe this is the spirit that led Congress to establish the FTC in 1914, and in bold letters, it's a spirit worth keeping alive today. Signed, Microsoft. You got to give them credit for ingenuity. That is hilarious. This thing is going to get ridiculous before it's resolved.
I have a feeling. Well, so now the CWA or EU rescheduled, pushed back from March to April, where I guess they'll give their final ruling on it. I have a feeling those two will approve it. There might be some concessions. I think Xbox already saying, we'll work with these other platform, 10-year deal. I mean, I don't know what more they can give. I mean, and if the CW and EU, you're already having other countries already approving this already, one by one.
Right.
And once the EU and CWA or CMA do, I don't know. I know what FTC can do. I mean, they can't hold it back. I think Xbox, this deal has to be done by July, because then they'll have to pay like what, $8 billion or something like that. And they're going to get it done. They're going to continue moving forward. And if FTC wants to take it to court and fight them in court, they can. And from what people are saying, that Xbox looks like they'll win in court, and no matter what FTC argues.
Yep.
And Activision will be part of Xbox here soon. At least by July. So, just drawn out, and prayers for Hoglaw.
Yeah.
He got sick. He was in hospital, ICU.
Yeah, he had a stroke.
Prayers up for him.
Now he's in recovery.
Thank goodness.
So, which is good news. Yeah. So
continued prayers.
Yeah, they
definitely
found a rehab bed for him, but they wanted him to go today. So
good.
It's a long road to recovery. So
on the road. So hopefully that he gets through all that, and people are missing his take on this.
Absolutely.
FTC stuff.
Maybe that's why the FTC is dragging it out. It's like still Hogan.
So Hogan can come back and so Microsoft can hire him to be their. No, all seriousness, we don't know him personally. We just know him from, Iron Lords and Season Gaming, the Bitcast and all that stuff. But I'll tell you,
respect what he does, and
I have
just his own
respect
channel,
for him.
Yeah, I watch it once in a while just to get an idea. But when he breaks stuff down, I think it's pretty informative. Of course, he has experience and knowledge, so
yeah,
it'll be interesting.
I've still got a problem with I got a problem with this line from the FTC. Microsoft has already shown it can and will withhold content from its gaming rivals. Do they not know? Have they not heard of Spider-Man?
Yes, will withhold. Where did that come from?
Right. Well, because of Starfield, right? Starfield and Redfall and all those not going to.
Wasn't on
I
any
know.
other platform. It's not with.
I know.
And
Do we have
CWA
Spider-Man?
already shut
Do we have
that down,
Spider-Man
too.
on Xbox consoles?
Exactly.
No, because Microsoft. I mean, Sony built it for their platform.
Right.
I mean, they need to get their heads out of their own asses.
Yeah, because Xbox has already shown and they've already proven. So, like games like Minecraft, and then you got Elder Scrolls Online, and certain ones, they just make sense to keep it multi-plat.
Right.
Because you have, like they said, they know there's communities on other platforms, and they want to continue that. So it makes sense to keep that with Call of Duty, and whatever else. I mean,
Well, exactly,
they haven't
Dr.
even said
Dick.
for sure. Elder Scrolls 6 could be multi-plats, which to
Exactly.
me that
I don't
makes sense,
I don't
that,
think
but-
I don't think they will. I think that they're going to.
They don't have to, but
No, they don't have to, and I don't think they will. I think they'll continue to make that Minecraft money. I mean, they're going to bring Minecraft Legends out on multiple platforms.
But there
those
might
are-
be a chance that Elder Scrolls 6 will stay on Xbox ecosystem because of the BS that with Final Fantasy. So
exactly.
you got 14. 11 was on the 360, and I played it there. But 14 never came to Xbox. 16 looks like it's not coming to Xbox.
No, it's
Final Fantasy
not.
7 remake is not. So look, it's like it's competition. It's like
Right.
Here's another thing. Does Bethesda want to create Sony games, or was it always an ugly stepchild? Because it never got the same.
No, they never did.
They've always had a great relationship with Xbox.
They always
just like,
had that, and the PlayStation versions of Bethesda games were always second.
yeah.
This came second. So
And what if people said about all the studios that Sony acquired? Oh, well, they've worked extensively with Sony. Well, yeah, and Bethesda ZeniMax has worked pretty
Bethesda too.
extensively,
Yeah,
right? I just
and what
don't-
we've seen,
this
people from Playground started up their new studio, independent studio. It's a very fluid
yeah.
environment. I mean, it's
Yeah. And it's how the industry is going to work for a while longer. Look, Embracer and Tencent, and we just
what was the other one?
NetEase just bought
NetEase.
yeah, they just bought one of the support studios that worked on
now
Halo
that's
Infinite.
where the DOJ and the FCC should step in and that kind of stuff, because that's
Right.
the national security hazard. Right there.
Exactly. And this quote right here shows me that the FTC doesn't understand, as Dr. Digglenut says, they don't understand how the gaming industry operates, and they certainly
Not at all.
aren't looking. How do you say something this stupid by not knowing what the competition has been doing for decades?
Yeah, but how have they been shown? Starfield is not out, so how can you say they're already shown?
Right. Deathloop still stayed on PlayStation for a year and a half.
And then Tokyo
Ghost Loop, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like Microsoft is and they have all rights to do so. Remember when they bought Compulsion, and yet We Happy Few still came out on, right? They bought
Obsidian,
and
yet Outer Worlds
Outer
still,
Worlds.
And
And
then the
Exile.
FCC got challenged with, the Microsoft said like, "Oh, what's the number?"
right? Well, and this is where I thought for a minute that they might be a little more confident. You know, they originally said that the FTC, what the FTC was doing was unconstitutional. They've walked that back, and you know, so I'm looking for anything else that. Yeah, here you go. The acquisition of a single game by the third-place console manufacturer cannot upend a highly competitive industry. That's what they said last month. Remember that? You know,
Yeah.
particularly so when the manufacturers made clear it will not withhold the game. So.
Yeah, they have not acknowledged Xbox trying to give concession of, you know, hey, we'll make a 3-year deal, a 5-year deal, 10-year deal. You know, when Nintendo, Steam, and they're trying to get Sony on board, but Sony's not going to do it because Sony's hoping that somehow, some way, this doesn't happen. That's what Sony, and they're playing hardball. They're going to do everything they can. They don't,
and they don't want it. This has
they don't
more
want a Game
to
Pass.
do.
They don't want Xbox.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Is that they don't want this game in Game Pass because it doesn't matter if PlayStation gamers get the game. It doesn't matter if Switch players get the game. What matters is that more people will come and buy Xbox because of the ecosystem, because it's in Game Pass, and Sony is going to lose that market. That's what they're afraid
Sony
of.
said stuff about Game Pass that, you know, there's no growth and
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Which is weird. They would come out and say that now, but when they
probably
about
do
that,
because they know they already lost.
Yeah. I mean, each one of these Nintendo, they all do their own thing. You know, like Sony, they're real good with, you know, their studios, and then they do the VR thing, right?
Right.
Nintendo, they have the handheld market, and what they do, their IP is second to none. They bring in a lot of money, and the Xbox, their first party IP, and Sony, they don't compete with that.
Right.
What Nintendo does, right? And Xbox, you know, with their multiplayer stuff and certain things, Western RPGs and stuff like that, they just had that down. And to me, it's good competition, and you know, let the gamers decide that.
Exactly.
And even with this Xbox having Activision, still it will give them a good bump, but it's no guarantee that they would take the market as far as consoles. But you know, but I mean, you go back to the 360, that gen, and the Wii U, without, well, they did have some Call of Duty games on there, right? They had World of War and all that, but they didn't have the online Call of Duty stuff, did they? I can't remember on the Wii. But still, the Wii was able to catch up and outpace the 360 and PS3. And then here's the Switch, they're doing the same thing. And they don't need Call of Duty.
Right.
So I don't understand how the FTC is kind of like not including Nintendo in this on this. And Nintendo and a bunch of other industry leaders, publishers, and all that said that they don't see no problem with Xbox having Activision.
No.
They don't feel that it would hurt them. As
No.
Yeah, stupid.
And Paul said June 30th is the end of this fiscal year. A lot of this needs to be wrapped up by then. But reading about the preliminary hearing, the trial for this is going to be in August, which is a month after the offer expires.
Well, the trial, but
the CMA and the EU give the thumbs up.
Yeah, they're going to move forward. They're going to close.
The sale will be done.
Yeah.
So the FTC is just
and
suing
then,
after the fact.
Yeah, and then let's say later in the trial, let's say somehow the judge sides with FTC, then Xbox will have to split from Activision, right? After that.
Well, here
they rule in favor of
What
FTC
if entire Xbox splits off Microsoft? though it's not.
Boy, that would
something.
be wouldn't that be the end to that rumor that happened in 2013?
Yeah.
And somebody was right. But I mean, they're now in a but they're now in a much better situation than then. That was at that point it was desperation. Now it's more like, hey, you know.
Oh.
Yeah. I think we'll see what happens here in April with the other two, and then, that'll be telling right there. But who knows? I mean, Xbox could sit there and fight both FTC, CMA, and EU in their courts too.
Who knows?
They'll do it. Yeah, who knows? You know.
Right.
And still go through and follow with the sell. So then buy it up. Yeah, it'd be interesting, but it's getting old though.
Yeah.
But
it
would have been nice if they were able to close it out and then be able to introduce Activision to Xbox family in the June show, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I think what the FTC is trying to do is run the clock out, because I don't think they have a case. I don't think they have a case at all. So if they do that, then what they're hoping is, because the offer expires in July, that Microsoft's just going to drop this. But this is the other thing about the FTC. The FTC is suing to block the merger. If it doesn't go to trial until August, theoretically, Microsoft could go ahead and close the deal and then just say,
"Yeah,
what are you going to do about it?"
Yeah, and then just go to court.
Yeah.
So. And take me to court. So I wonder if I think that mentality of if the CMA and EU don't block the deal,
I mean, would FTC still follow through with it? It's like, if the other two, everybody else approves it, how can they justify?
Well, then they look even more stupid than they are right now.
I know, and spending more taxpayer money on this, and then the judge is going to be like, huh? Close, sorry.
But then they know that every other company they will sue, then they will just look like fools on day one. So
I mean, I can understand if others in the market industry, Nintendo and everybody else, was siding with Sony and saying this hurt us, blah blah. Then they would have a leg to stand on, because everybody's saying no, this is not going to help, be good for us. But no, nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
Like they try to say that they're going to hurt as far as Call of Duty type games. There's already been other games that have already proven they can compete. They may not make the money, but they are competing. As far as the engagement numbers and all that, right?
Because the FTC is not trying to throw up an injunction, I think they could. I think that's what. I think that is. I think your scenario is probably the most likely at this point. And Paul, how is Microsoft ever going to buy another studio after this? How is anybody going to buy another studio after this? Except for,
I mean, this is not just a studio. This is a whole publisher, like they did with ZeniMax.
Well, how about they say?
But who cares? I'm not saying it at you, Chris, but who cares if it's a bigger publisher? It's still a development. It's still development studios and IPs. No different than this idea that makes it a different animal is crazy. Have a great night, Praxis. We're almost done too, brother. And thank you,
Praxis,
thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And yes, we will hit you up. I'll get Peter to work it out with you since you guys are Call of Duty.
Yeah, we'll be on Call of Duty tomorrow.
All right, you guys could talk about it. You guys could talk about it Tuesday night to get him on NLG. So,
there you go.
Thank you for hanging out with us. So, but I'm also with Paul. I think the FTC. I think they're doing this because.
Well,
I know why they're doing this, but I can't. Yeah, it's a subject we don't want to go through here.
We don't want to go there.
I mean, it was in the midnight.
It was in the MSN. It was in the MSN article. The Biden administration wants the FTC to crack down on.
3 bits.
In fact, the one lone no vote on the FTC was the Republican. So I mean, it's what I don't get, and I'm not trying to make this into a political thing, but what I don't get is Microsoft gives that party a lot of money, and that's the party that's trying to block this thing. How stupid can you be? I would think that they would want to grease that wheel as well as they can. So,
the thing is, both of these parties are made up of different groups. They have their own agendas and this and that. So maybe this person who's running, what's her name, running the FTC, has her own agenda. Not necessarily
absolutely.
Like she's like Democrat or whatever. She could be more left, and you know how some in the political, they want to be seen. You're fighting the big guy. You're fighting these big corporations. You're not going to just allow them to do whatever they want. And that's whatever. Maybe she's just trying to make it look like, hey, I'm trying. But she really doesn't have a case.
That's more than anything else. She
likes to lose, so she'll be our fourth one then.
I don't
but she can just blame it on it. Oh, these big corporations, they're lawyers. They just blah blah blah.
I need to have a case. Can't I just sue him for suing's sake? Although that's allowed by law.
Yeah,
it is, but it's.
But I mean, it just looks stupid. I mean, it's like if you're going to fight anything that you can fight, then who's going to take you serious?
Neither Sony, nobody will be able to. The only people who will be able to acquire companies going forward if this doesn't go through is Embracer and Tencent, who do not have to worry about the FTC.
Well, I think on this scale.
Why don't they have to worry about FCC? Because it's only for.
I'm not sure. And I'm not sure how that works when it is a publisher buying developer studios. Yeah, see, she's lost 3 cases
it's not
now.
On this scale of what this is. I mean, this is a $68 billion deal. I mean, when Xbox bought ZeniMax, that was what, $7 billion. Everybody's like, oh my god, that's a lot of money, but
it's 10 times as much.
This is insane.
And that went through pretty easily. They didn't, when they didn't even really. They didn't really make a big deal about Xbox if they were gonna make certain games exclusive or not, right? I think Xbox laid out there saying, look, we see that some studios like Tango and Arcane and so on had already deals to be on multi-platform, and they're going to honor all that, and they did. Just like with the other studios they acquired, right? They honored all those, deals, and But after that, none of these regulators seemed like they were worried if, are you going to make the rest of the games now after that from these studios exclusive? They didn't seem to care, but somehow FTC is making a big deal. But they're only what they're doing is just regurgitating what Sony's concerns. That's it. Somehow Sony has bigger influence on FTC than Microsoft. And how much, like you said, how much money does Sony give to the certain parties? You would think that Microsoft gives a lot of money to.
Yeah, but they give to both parties, so
They do,
they're
but-
greasing both sides of the wheel.
But they give more to one side right now.
Yeah,
and this is
Yeah,
whatever
finally-
they,
by a
Yeah.
lot.
Whatever they think would
Yeah.
get the most bang for the buck.
Well, absolutely. But by a lot. It's not even close. But I mean, all that said, I mean, I'm with three. I thoroughly believe this is political. There's no good reason to do this other than fame and fortune, right? There's.
I mean, they want to fight big tech.
Yeah,
Right.
you got to be
Microsoft,
shown that
you're
they're.
big tech. So
Well, it's not
What do
just
you
that.
got?
I mean, how long
Whether
is
they win or not.
Something Sony said. Oh no, can't say that. Sony said, whispered this in my ear. We're just gonna sue, and I have no idea why and how and what. It's just dumb.
I think like Destin was talking about recently when they went to go talk to the judge, right? Here recently, and Destin said, so there, some people were able to like get in on the call because it was on the call only. It wasn't live in front of a judge. And Destin said that the person that was representing FTC, like he just didn't even sound like confident. Like he just, like he was like, "Whoa, how many people are here?" Like,
Yeah.
when he realized. So yeah, it just didn't seem like, he had everything planned and laid out.
Yeah, and there you go. Embracer is more of an investment group, right? They're like a venture capital group. So nobody's going to look at them at all. Dr. Dinglenut says FTC is focusing on the language Microsoft used in Bethesda deal, but even the EU and CMA said, well, no, they never said that. So, I mean, got debunked. Mike, you may have stumbled on Tencent will be able to do acquisitions. This administration also rumored to aid Chinese businesses. I don't even think it's as much that as Tencent. Tencent doesn't care what the FTC can't sue Tencent because they're not a U.S. company.
They're not acquiring anything; they're just investing, and they have. I think
they've acquired a couple people. Yeah, they have acquired studios now.
But
they're
for the most part, they invest percentages in the companies.
Right, they acquire.
Which they'll probably end up owning Ubisoft there soon.
Maybe that's what Microsoft's going to do too. But after this ABK deal, it's like, what are they going to do? Are they going to acquire? Maybe not. Maybe they get a 49% stake in.
Yeah, they acquired Riot Games, Sumo Digital. I'm going across the list. Let's see if there's another place to look.
But I think there are some studios that Xbox can acquire later on after this, and I don't think it'd be a big deal.
I think it's gonna have to be small studios.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a Sobo, some that makes sense, right? Join an Xbox.
So Tencent owns Jaeger Development, Sumo Digital, Stunlock Studios, Wake Up Interactive, which owns Valhalla Game Studios in Seoul, Fat Shark, Turtle Rock. Remember Turtle Rock from Back 4 Blood? So they own those. So I mean, it's Tencent
access to every home.
Yep, Tencent is starting to. Right, they're starting to. NetEase. We just talked about that. NetEase purchased. Where was it? I know you put it in here, Peter. And let me find where you tweeted it. They bought Skybox Labs, who co-developed multiple Halo and Age of Empire games, as well as Fallout 76. So, and NetEase is another Chinese publisher.
Yeah.
So, that's the other thing.
Well, that worries me more with the Tencent
Yeah.
getting a lot of.
Oh, they own Quantic Dream and Grasshopper Manufacture, which did No More Heroes, and Quantic Dream, which of course did Heavy Rain, Detroit, and Beyond Two Souls. Yeah. So this is gonna get worse before it's done. I have a bad feeling.
FTC would just be, throw something else stupid along the way. But from what I've seen, at least for CMA, April, and I think EU too.
Yeah, I think so.
Supposed to make a final ruling on. So, a couple more months, see where they stand, and then after that, it's pretty much downhill for Xbox just to close
And
the
it's
deal.
either a done deal or it's a done deal. Either it's successful or unsuccessful.
Yeah.
So. All right, so that's all I had.
Yeah. We'll, hopefully by next Tuesday we'll have some more interesting news. We'll see. Maybe we'll have a official release for the Xbox show here, end of this month.
Let's hope.
And cross your fingers that it's on the 24th.
Yeah.
So
3-Bit says
it'd be weird
coming.
because,
and if anybody knows, brother 3-Bit knows. So
appreciate that 3-Bit.
3-Bit's another man we need to get on this show one night. Let me hold on. I'm adding him to the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I've always wanted 3-Bit. I've always wanted to have you on, brother. Your gaming history and stuff has to be stuff of legend. So, and I've enjoyed being on with you with Mav on Mav's channel.
I'd like to see some of your art too, 3-Bit, because we've had a graphic artist who worked on was it Aqua
what was
the
that?
one gentleman that I met?
Yeah, Diego. Was it
Diego? He showed us his art that he worked on the Old Republic, the MMO.
Yep.
And something else too, and that was cool. So it'd be interesting, 3-Bit, be able to show some of your old artwork.
Quick shout out to Sir X-Man for another $2 super chat. He says FTC is anti-America. They support foreign countries.
Yeah. No worries, 3-Bit. We'll get you on in February. How about we do? All right, let me write to February. See, that's how you know this man is legit. He's got NDAs as well. He's under.
Yeah.
So.
I'd even have NDAs.
Yeah,
NDAs.
Whenever you can, 3-Bit, and Sir X-Man, appreciate that. I agree with you.
Yeah, I do too.
Unfortunately.
And it's just it is what it is right now. It is what it is. So, all right. So I think we are going to go ahead and get out of here. It is 12:14. We're at the 2-hour 41-minute mark. We've only done one 3-hour show in the last year. We only save those for the special days. So, but happy New Year, everybody. Thank you guys. Once again, the week in and week out, hanging out. And Sir X-Man, thank you for hanging out while you're working. That is just, you do that. I know Dreadpool does that. Infinite does that. When Infinite's able to hang out and chat. That
dude doesn't work. He's at work, but it doesn't mean he's working.
Yeah, Infinite's a little sketchy. But I mean, all seriousness, man, that it means so much to us. It really does. And 3-Bit, see you, to see you tonight. Thank you. It's, Praxis, I know Praxis rolled out because he was going to bed, but now some folks that are hanging out that don't normally, and hopefully coming to hang out with us for a while. Big Block, of course. Love you, man. It's gonna be a good year for us on many fronts. You know that. Thank you, brother. So thank you everybody for hanging out. Tomorrow, got some great Gamers United Guild stuff going on. Backlog Bastards with Spooky at 8 o'clock. Also, GoGameGo at 8 o'clock. And he has Ballistic Boy on, who does a lot of Atari VCS stuff. I know I'm going to be checking that out while I'm at the gym. And then at 9:30, the boys are back in town. DJC Game Studios, Rab, Retro Advisory Board, who may still be listening, I don't know. And Geeks with Cash, who did go earlier. And that is Amico Forever. Great show, guys. Just happy to muscle relaxer I took didn't knock me out. Dude, you did another one, man. Just keep healing, brother. Just keep healing. Keep the prayers up for you, man. Seriously. And Thursday is for GQTV. Friday is
and he's had a couple of interviews too with some actors. Yeah. So pretty good stuff there.
Yep. Carlo keeping it going. The Iconic Video Games podcast on Friday. The Evercast on Saturday. Lemon's awesome Dragon's Den Saturday night. And then TXR on Sunday, Astro Smashed on Monday, and then back here with Retro Renegades and NLG. That is your Gamers United Guild spread.
And sometimes Retro Roots, right? On Monday? Y'all
we were on last Monday. We'll be on the following Monday. Yeah, we were on last night. We'll be on the following Monday. That's over on Geeks with Cash's channel. So all the Gamers United Guild channels are down below in the description. Please go check them out. A bunch of fantastic gamers. And there's Dreadpool working and lurking. See, that's what I'm telling you. It really does.
Dreadpool.
It really does humble us. You know, we're not here without you guys in the chat. That is why we put the chat up for everybody to read. Oh, Paul's lined up a movie producer interview later in January. That's going to be sweet, too.
Nice. Look forward to that, Paul.
Yes. Paul getting it done, too. So, Paul also, his channel is down in the GUG description. So, all kinds of great channels to support. All right.
It's been great. And look forward to, this year. This year is looking pretty good.
This year's looking pretty good, man.
And GOG's looking real good, too, for the year.
GOG's looking good. We're going to grow this year. And I am confident. We are gonna see a new console this year. I'm going to remain confident.
Switch 2.0.
There you go. So I left the Intellivision Amico in our channel trailer and in our intro video because this is the year. It's coming.
I feel it.
I feel it. And you know what? I just tell you, I keep getting it in front of people and they keep loving it. And my kids love it, and I'm enjoying it. All the testing that I've been doing has been great. I can't wait. I'm still on hold to be able to show you anything publicly, but I cannot wait until I can actually start showing some things. So, congrats, Dread. Became an affiliated partner with Insta360. Very nice.
Yeah, nice.
Get it, Dread? So, all right, guys, let me get us out of here. Have a great week, everybody. I might do some streaming on Thursday. We'll see. I know I keep saying it. At some point, I've got to figure out how to get the Friday night with Peter and Myke back going again. That is on me.
Yeah.
And I know that it's on me.
Those co-op games are so great solo.
I know.
Redfall's coming out soon.
Redfall is coming. Well,
what's
the Friday night with Peter, Chris, and Myke?
Multiplayer game that coming out? I can't think of.
Redfall. I don't know.
No, well, before that, anything soon that y'all think of that be another co-op for us to play? I'm trying to think.
Well, we can play some more Halo Infinite.
We can.
Yeah. Yeah, we get back on with this and whoever else.
Not quite done yet.
Yeah.
No, that is true.
Yeah, I want to jump back on that, finish that together.
I don't know what's coming out soon.
Yeah, that would be cool, Dreadpool.
Hey, Freight Train Teams and Halo Big Team Battle. I'd like to get back to Big Team Battle. I hear Big Team Battle is working better. So. Pluck! Brother Pluck is here. Just as we were about to. I was literally in the middle of our saying goodnight.
Yeah.
So, and don't forget, by the way, guys, I never do this, and it's because I'm just horrible at this. Peter, where can everybody find you?
Right here, but also every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and on Twitter at HTK360, HTK on Xbox, HTK360 on PlayStation, Steam, almost everywhere else.
Nice. And what you got going on this week? Anything special? More Call of Duty.
Well, definitely Call of Duty. No, my daughter has some games, basketball and
nice.
Lacrosse, so
nice.
it'll be fun. And
All
swimming, swim team stuff. So yeah.
All right. Sir X-Man's playing PGR 4 this weekend.
Oh,
that had motorcycles.
We need to bring
in it.
back Project Gotham Racing.
I know.
Yes, please.
Can we go find the old Bizarre Creations guys?
I wouldn't mind like Playground kind of moving on from Horizon, and maybe bring back the Project Gotham Racing.
Oh, don't play with my
They
heart,
Chris. Could bring that back, and
Just adds Rally Sport Challenge to like Forza. There's some rally racing in that game.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. There are opportunities.
Yes, sir. For me, I finally got my game room set up, and I need to get my streaming going. So,
yes.
But I will work on finishing.
Now that I put you in the trailer, there's no pressure.
I know. So no, I need to get that going. There's a lot of games coming out this year, so a lot of games, stream and share with our friends here.
Absolutely. I got to get more into it too. I enjoy it. I truly do. By the way, where can they find you, Chris?
Well, you can find me on Twitter with Fastback6768, and on Xbox, you can also send me a friend request and Fastback6768. Same thing on PlayStation. I have the app on my phone, so not really playing on PlayStation right now, but you can always add me there. And of course here on NLG every Tuesday night, 9:30 Eastern.
Excellent. I enjoyed. I did Saturn game stream. I streamed the couple games that Dread got for me. I got a couple more. Good friend TV's Hasslehoff found some deals for me. I got a Rise of the Dragon Sega CD and Alone in the Dark sequel on Saturn that I'm going to be hopefully checking out soon. But I'm enjoying. I enjoy the streaming. I should do it more, and I don't know why I don't. But I enjoy it, and I enjoy when everybody's hanging out and we're playing retro games and talking and chatting and stuff. It brings me great joy. I got to get back to doing more of it. I keep saying it, and life keeps getting in the way, but I got to get back to doing some retro streaming and some fun. So I'm working on it, folks, I promise. There you go, Pluck.
Yeah,
Pluck.
not bad.
Yes. Those Alone in the Dark games were great. Paul, those were the precursors to the Resident Evil games. I mean, that's really where Resident Evil was born from, was the Alone in the Dark series. So anyway, thank you, everybody. Everybody have a great week. check the channel here, see if we do any streaming. Otherwise, pick up a controller, get some gaming in. At the very least, we'll see you next Tuesday night at 9:30 Eastern Standard for another NLG show. Play on, gamers.
Game on, guys.
Adios, gamers. Have a good rest of the week.